What's up? Check it out. I've done a large amount of testing when it comes to mining in Alpha 16 because there's been so much confusion. I've learned a lot. I've dug a lot of holes, probably about 100. Let's go. In Alpha 16, in the early game, you can walk up to any stone and you can break it down for iron and coal and lead and nitrate powder and as well as stone. But that does not mean that there are more ores below it. That was added in a later date. Luckily, these stones can be found just about anywhere on the map. When you break these stones, you get a little bit of everything, and that's meant to just get you by until you can really do some serious mining, which in Alpha 16, you absolutely have to do. There's a part of me that likes it. There's a part of me that hates it. I would love to see actually a hybrid, because now that I understand how the Alpha 16 mining works, I actually like it. But I do think that it needs a little bit of love so that you're not spending 99% of your time digging. As an example, I broke this one node and I received 3 nitrate, 6 lead, 4 coal, 21 raw iron, and 70 stones. This is enough to get you by in the early game, but as the days progress and things get harder, you will need more forged iron, more coal, more nitrate, for more gunpowder, for more bullet tips, etc. Also, you can find large boulders around the map. You can see these on the mini map here. Here and here and here. These will give you just stone. Also, you'll notice that in Alpha 16, the only place that you can get clay from is within these big brown splotches that are on the map. If you dig outside of one of those splotches, all you get is dirt fragments, which really aren't very useful. You can make potted plants, you can make sod, you can make plains, grassy ground, burnt forest ground, what have you. But they pretty much are not very useful for anything except for fertilizer. Also, spread around the map, you can find little black nodes such as this one and this one. This is what they look like, and they'll be random ores. They're spread all over the map. Although there is no bias to what ore spawns in which biome, it does seem to me that almost every one of these little black specks in the forest is lead, period. This one is oil shale, so oil shale can be found in the burnt biome. But there is no ore underneath this. To prove that, we can go ahead and dig down. No, I dug down, we blew it up, and it, as fortune would have it, there's actually iron under here. This iron node likely connects to these sand patches here. This is a perfect segue into explaining how these sand patches actually work, as they are the bread and butter of all mining in 7 Days to Die Alpha 16. It's notable to mention that these sand patches that you see here and here and here, they are much more visible in the burnt biome, as you can see here. Also, they don't even exist in the desert biome. It's also notable to mention that with the exception of various ores and random clay splotches that you can find on the surface, otherwise the entirety of the desert is completely sand. When you find a little sand spot, if you want to know what's under it, you dig, you get stone, you get sand, and then the third ore that you get is what is below it. There is no restriction nor limitation on what ore spawns in what biome, with the exception of oil shale. I dug maybe 20 holes all around the desert, and the rumor was that it's easier to find oil shale where one biome meets the next. So like where the wasteland meets the desert, or where the burnt biome meets the desert. Let me show you how I would go about finding oil shale in the desert. Now, it's important to note that I don't know if this is a rule or not. I am going to go ahead and follow the rumor and test the rumor that oil shale is more likely to spawn next to a biome border. I'm going to dig down just a few. Now, if you get it just right and you're crouched, you can dig a 1x1 hole diagonally. You'll get stone and you'll get sand for this every single time. Also, keep in mind that in Alpha 16, the lower your stamina, the weaker your hits are. You'll see it takes me 2 hits. I could take it to 19 the first time and break it the second time. But if I have a fair amount of stamina, I can one-shot it every single time. Like I said, I've done this several times, probably about 20 times. Basically, the shortest answer possible, dig diagonally until you find oil shale. I've had to dig 50 blocks, but I did find oil shale. If you dig all the way down to bedrock and you don't find oil shale, you have the worst fucking luck in the world. I found some iron. For my personal playthrough, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a few sticks of TNT and a few sticks of dynamite just so I can blow this hole wide open and see exactly what's in there, you know, eliminating any sort of guesswork. That is oil shale and iron. So there it is. I would follow this until it was empty, until it was dry, until I couldn't find any more, and then I would probably get some more TNT and blow another hole in the ground. Out of the 20 holes that I dug, 100% of the time I was able to find either oil shale or iron. And just for the hell of it, I will go ahead and tell you exactly how many blocks down this is. That's 1, 2, 3, 19. I killed myself because it's easier. Because God mode doesn't work the same way in Alpha 16 that it does in modern day 7 Days to Die. Guys, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that it's 2025. It's August 20th, 2025. And I'm sitting here making a video about mining in a version that existed in 2017. There's one more thing that I have neglected that I haven't done. One more rumor that needs to be debunked. So let's go do that. I have done lots and lots and lots and lots of testing, guys. Yeah, I have done a lot of testing. So regarding these sand nodes, everybody who's anybody has always said that in Alpha 16, if you walk up to this sand and you dig one block out, it'll tell you what ore is under it. In this case, it's coal. From that exact spot, you dig directly straight down and you will run into coal. Let me get the auger, repair the auger, and refuel the auger and everything, and we're gonna dig straight down, straight down. And I may have to do this 10 times in a row. Let's say I make it all the way to bedrock and I don't find coal, then this is busted immediately. But if I do run into a coal vein, then I'm gonna have to test this 9 more times at least. And the funny thing about the auger in Alpha 16 is it has a shitload of recoil, and it breaks really fast. All right, myth is busted. Done. I'm so glad. That myth is absolutely, definitely 100% busted. Now, that doesn't mean that there's no coal in this hole here. Pretty awesome. And there it is. So there is in fact coal under here, but it's not directly under the way that they say that it is. So that is absolutely debunked. Best case scenario, I would say dig down like 10, 15, and if you don't run into it, drop some TNT like I just did and throw some dynamite down in there, or shoot it, or whatever you have to do to blow the hole open like this, and it'll expose where your coal vein is, or your iron vein, your nitrate vein, whatever you're looking for. And that's how I plan to do any sort of mining in Alpha 16 in the future. It's 2025, and I can't believe I had just made this video. Cheers, have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.